Namaste and welcome to our top story. A surge in violent crimes between Hindus and Sikh communities has erupted in Brampton, Ontario, which is in Canada. These tensions, which began outside the Hindu Sabha Mandir, has heightened diplomatic strains between both Canada and India. And in a fresh detail, let me tell you that this has also led to the suspension of temple priest who is accused of spreading violent rhetoric. The unrest began on Sunday when members of Khalistan group organized a protest during a visit by Indian consular official to Hindu Sabha Mandir in Brampton. Protesters held banners supporting Khalistan, a proposed Sikh homeland in North India, and clashed with others who were holding Indian national flags. Videos of this incident have circulated widely on social media where people can be seen beating each other up. The demonstrations then spread to Mississauga, where more evidence broke out at the Melton Gurdwara, a Sikh place of worship. People intervened at both locations to manage the crowd, but on Monday, tensions flared up again outside the Hindu Sabha Mandir, with reports of demonstrators wielding weapons. Peel Police eventually dispersed the group and issued a public safety alert to the community. Meanwhile, Brampton's Mayor Patrick Brown took onto social media condemning the attack of the temple priest, whom he accused of inciting violence and urging residents to avoid hatred and any type of conflict. Mayor Brown announced plan to propose a city council motion that would restrict protests near the places of worship, similar to bylaw recently passed by Vaughan, Ontario, which limits disrupted demonstrations within 100 meters of sites like temples, schools and hospitals. On the other hand, the Sikh advocacy group, including the Ontario Gurdwaras Committee, has emphasized that this issue isn't a religious conflict. They allege that the Indian consular official has been provoking Sikh protesters and call on the Canadian government to limit consular activities outside of the official diplomatic roles. Now, these tensions come against a backdrop of worsening Canada-India relationship over Khalistan issue. Now, if I remind you, then just last month, Canada expelled 6 Indian diplomats, accusing them of sharing information on Canadian Sikh that were involved in Khalistan movement, with criminal groups who allegedly target these particular individuals. In return, India has denied all the accusations and accused Canada of sheltering pro-Khalistan individuals that it considers terrorists. New Delhi has repeatedly requested Ottawa to extradite these individuals, but the Canadian officials argue that India's extradition request often lacks sufficient evidences. Now, the ongoing tensions between the Khalistani and Hindu communities are further reflected in statistics. Canada is home to over 1.4 million people of Indian origin, with approximately 770,000 of them identified as Sikh and around 5 lakh as Hindus. The support for the Khalistan movement among sections of the Canadian Sikh population has been a point of friction, with India viewing it as a threat to its national security. But let me tell you, the recent violence isn't limited to Ontario. Similar clashes erupted on the very same day in Surrey, British Columbia, where RCMP arrested 3 individuals outside a Hindu temple. These incidents are the latest in the series of clashes that reflect the strained relationship between Canada and India and the impacts of geopolitical conflicts on community abroad. Now, for many Indian origin Canadians, these issues are personal, affecting their families, places of worship, and businesses. This developing situation reflects not only deep-rooted political disagreements but also challenges to peace within Canada's diverse immigrant communities. We'll keep a close eye on this particular story and continue to bring you the latest update. So stay tuned with us.